book talk friends. I read 2 books this month that I really did enjoy, and so I'm just going to do this video specifically as a book review dedicated to these 2 books with no spoilers. I know, sounds like a big feat, but we're gonna do it. So the first book that I read this month was Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler, and I really truly believe that this woman, there's something that she knows that we didn't know. You know what I mean? Being that Octavia E. Butler was born in the 40s, wrote this book in the 80s, passed away in 2004, and it's all written and takes place in 2025 after the 2024 election. I'm telling you right now, yeah, you've ever seen people write or like communicate as if this is their last lifetime? Yeah. She knew something we don't know, and I suggest everybody read this book specifically and after you read Project 2025. I just think more people should read Project 2025. I just feel like if more people read it, we wouldn't have so many people who are so surprised today. So I think I'm going to put that in my fable. I think I'm going to add it. I think we're going to start a book club. It's going to be called Project 2025 Book Club, okay? I just want us all on the same page. I don't want anybody surprised. That's it. That's it, okay? The second book I read this month that I was super freaking obsessed with was Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. Now, I said to somebody the other day, I said, Suzanne Collins is the type of author that I now, as an adult, because I read her books in 5th grade, 4th grade, it was like a class assignment. I went to a charter school. I don't know if your schools operated the same, but my school was very liberal about the type of books that we were reading because they wanted to challenge thought, as most charter schools do. If they're not charter Christian, that's usually what they do. So in my school, we were reading The Hunger Games. But to jump back in on Sunrise on the Reaping, that was the most, I've never sobbed so much. Just sobbing. I didn't know how I read that as a kid. I don't know how I read that book in 4th grade. And this is something I really loved about both of their writing, is that both Octavia and Suzanne can write books that make the human experience feel so gut-wrenchingly, disgustingly real. I read a lot of dystopian, I read a lot of thrillers and suspense, so I understand the guise of it. I'm sorry, I'm like low-key disgusting, like remembering how that book made me feel. It was like so stressful. I was gonna cry. It was just so stressful. The whole time I was just so stressed out. I was, oh my God. It sounds horrific. It sounds really tragic and terrifying, but the whole thing is always going to be so much more worth it than anything else, because it's just something about knowing for a fact that you are reading about someone else's experience. I feel like that's what makes the writing so real, because we live in America, at least, like, I don't know where you're viewing this from, but I live in America, and I'm a firstborn Jamaican American, and so I know for a fact I will not experience what they experienced growing up. And so it's even crazier to me to think that even what they experienced was even 10 times better what most of the people in these books experienced. It gets to be a lot, but I do appreciate these 2 authors for writing such vigorous and such intense novels. And I know people are going to be like, you think these 2 novels are intense? I don't want to read about war. I don't want to read about that shit. It's something about when the legislation of a nation is degraded to pushing human beings back into Neanderthal-like survival mode. That's what it is for me. And I'm not going to give any more spoilers because that's just what I can give you guys. I really hope you guys love this video. What books are you guys reading? I want to know, because this has been feeding my soul. Like, I need books like this. This has been feeding my soul. Love it.